When the jungle saw a tree rot from the inside, they said to cut it down. But the father tree chose something harder than judgment. He chose to pray. In the heart of the emerald thickets, where the canopy stitched the sky and the rivers sang in sleep, there stood a Ceiba tree, tall, wide, ancient. Its roots curled like serpents, its branches scraped the clouds. The animals called him Abuelo, for he'd seen many seasons and held many secrets. Beneath him, woven into the jungle floor, grew his son, Broton, a smaller tree, wild-limbed and crooked, whose bark had split too early and whose leaves curled inward from the dark smoke of a nearby charcoal pit. Abuelo had warned him. "Keep your sap clean," he had said. "Guard your root from the poison vine," he had said. But Broton had listened with half a heart, eager to stretch toward anything bright. Now the signs were clear. His colour dimmed. The sap that once ran golden turned cloudy and slow. Black fungi crept along his base, feeding on his shame. Abuelo stood still as trees do when storms whisper in the distance. Animals came to whisper, "The young one is diseased. His roots are tangled with the devil's hand vine. He should be cut." And deep inside, Abuelo raged at the boy for ignoring wisdom, raged at himself for not binding him sooner, raged at the vine for what it always did, creep silent, coil tight, squeeze joy from the bark. He could have summoned the fire beetles, could have asked the wind to shake the child to splinters, but instead he remembered. He remembered his own youth, how he once bent toward a false light, growing toward a clearing that led nowhere, how he too had once hidden rot beneath bark. So he did what trees rarely do. He wept, not with water, but with prayer. Not aloud, but with groans that echoed down to the stone bones of the earth. For the jungle knows, when an old tree grieves, the roots call to heaven. The rains came, gentle, daily, pure. Not the wild rains that drown, but the kind that cleanse slowly. Birds came and sang near Broton, though his branches bore no fruit. Worms turned the soil around him, softening it. The black fungus, deprived of silence, shrank, and Abuelo spoke again, not with fury, but with sorrow and strength. "Your sap is not beyond saving, but you must turn downward before you can grow upward again." Broton did not answer. He could not. But a single root, thin as a whisper, reached back toward Abuelo's. Connection, not force, not law, just the steady hum of grace. Season after season, the child tree recovered, not to what he was, but to what he could be. His form remained crooked. Some leaves never grew back, but he bore fruit, strange fruit, fruit with marks, but fruit that fed. And the animals said, "It is the child who was saved." But the jungle knew it was the old one, the towering, silent, storm-scarred Ceiba, who was the true hero. The one who learned too late that strength is not in the height of your trunk, but in how low your heart can bend.